Hey guys, Breezy CPA here, your certified public accountant, back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about California getting one step closer to passing the alternative pathway for sitting for the CPA exam. This is an alternative pathway that'll include the 120 credit hour rule as opposed to the traditional 150 credit hour rule, where you'll need only 30 less credits in order to sit for the CPA exam. As you know, in previous videos, I've updated you on other states that have implemented this new legislation. Currently, we have over 20 states in the US that have implemented a new pathway for sitting for the CPA exam, and this is a result of the decline in the number of accountants, the number of accounting students majoring in accounting, and the upcoming decline in certified public accountants as a result of boomers retiring who make up 80%, 75 to 80% of the CPAs in the industry. So the accounting industry is suffering a shortage, and as a result, these states are trying to implement new regulations to encourage more people to get into accounting and to get their CPA license. So currently, we have over 20 states that have implemented legislation, including Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Alaska, New Mexico, Texas here, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Most recently, we have New York that has implemented a new alternative pathway. Also, Pennsylvania and Delaware recently implemented new pathways, and North Carolina as well. So, those are the most recent ones that, as of June and July, they implemented these new alternative pathways where you will only need 120 credit hours to sit for the CPA exam. So that's good news that this seems like it's spreading across the country here. To look at this article, California's CPA bill advances as clock ticks towards deadline. So it's not yet law in California. Before it can become law, it has to go through the state assembly, the Senate, and then it needs to also get signed by the governor of each state before it can be implemented into law. So you'll need to check with your state board of accountancy to see what the status is on your particular state and whether or not a new licensure pathway has been set into law in your particular state. But in California, the accounting industry is closely watching the densely populated Golden State, as any licensure changes there are expected to have an outsized impact on the profession. California's CPA Pathways Bill on Monday advanced to the state's Senate Appropriations Committee on a unanimous 11-0 vote by members of the Senate Business, Professions, and Economic Development Committee, according to California's legislature website. The action puts California a step closer to joining the more than 20 states that have passed legislation providing alternative routes to CPA licensure that don't require the 150 college credit hours, effectively a fifth year of college. So before when I took the CPA exam, you needed 150 college credit hours, which meant you either got your master's degree in accounting or you went off to a state or a community college and got your credits from them, but that was added thousands of dollars in costs. Now you will not need to do that. The move comes about 5 months after the bill in February, who said the legislation was critical to opening up more opportunities for aspiring accountants across California. While the next legislative actions for the bill haven't been scheduled yet to become law this year, the bill must pass legislature by September 12th and be signed by the governor by October 12th. Alternatively, the legislation may need to be reintroduced next year. So hopefully, we might be seeing California sign this by October 12th, which would mean that sitting for the CPA exam next year, you would only need those 120 credit hours if you were to take that pathway. The Golden State's bill is being closely watched by many in the accounting industry due to the large number of CPAs and firms that will be impacted given the state's population. An assistant professor said California will be a really big deal when they pass their legislation. California currently has about 65,590 active CPAs, I'm one of those, and is home to 6,611 accounting firms, according to the California Board of Accountancy. The total number of states that have passed bills providing new routes to CPA licensure have risen to about 22, with Pennsylvania and Delaware passing bills last month. While some states like Florida and Maine have seen their legislation foiled by opposition this year, California's bill has drawn strong support to date. So Florida and Maine, they are stuck in a legislature, and looks like they're going to be taking their time with this. Um, the AB 1175 has not received any opposition, and we do not anticipate any. It has received unanimous support throughout the legislative process. So we've seen this in a number of states where both the House and the Senate are unanimously in agreement when it comes to passing these bills for this alternative pathway for CPAs. California's bill was passed by a unanimous vote, 77-0, of the state assembly. As proposed, the new legislation establishes a new route to licensure beginning on January 1st, 2027, enabling applicants to satisfy licensure requirements by completing a bachelor's degree and 2 years of work experience and passing the CPA exam. The existing requirement structure that includes 150 semester hour credits, 1 year of experience, and passing the CPA exam would sunset on January 1st, 2029. So they're basically trying to get rid of the total 150 hour credit rule by 2029. That's going to hopefully go away. The bill also contains provisions tackling the process that CPA licenses licensed by other states would need to go through to work in California, in place of the current approach to mobility that requires California Board of Accountancy to determine whether a prospective CPA's education and experience meets a standard of substantial equivalency. So this is very important. Another important move that they're making here in order to make it more attractive for people to get their CPA license is the fact that before you had to substantiate your CPA license when moving to another state. So as a California CPA, I couldn't just go over to Texas or New York and start working as a CPA there. I would need to contact their board of accountancy, and then they would need to equivalate my CPA exam and get approval from their board. But now a lot of states are implementing this new regulation along with the 120 credit hour rule, where you will not need to go through that process. You can take your CPA across state borders anywhere in the US and work with your CPA license from your home state in other states. The board would instead accept a license issued in another state as authorization according to the analysis. So this is going to make it more attractive, especially for California, that has a large population and a lot of CPA accounting firms. If people in, other states like Texas, or North Carolina and states like that want to move to California, now they can do it. They'll be able to do it and work as a CPA without having to go through an extra process to do that. There are several caveats. Accountants licensed by other states must still be employed by a firm registered by the California board, and CPAs licensed by other states deemed by the board not to have a comparable licensure agreement must have a valid license for at least 4 of the past 10 years and have a bachelor's degree or higher with an accounting consideration. The provisions updating CPA interstate practices privileges aim to support licensure modernization and minimize the disruption for both the consumers and professionals. So this is good news for those of you who are in California wanting to get your CPA license. Looks like this alternative pathway is making its way through the legislative process, may even be approved in October of this year. Effective January 1st of 2026, you might be able to sit for the CPA exam in California with just your 120 credit hours. If you're interested in learning more about accounting, if you're on your way to becoming a certified public accountant, thinking about becoming a certified public accountant, visit breezycpa.com. We have resources there and courses for all of the different sections of the CPA exam, including study guides, cram courses, test banks, and so on and so forth to get you ready for the CPA exam. If that's something you want to do, make sure to check out the description down below for the link and use promo code Breezy20 to get 20% off your order at checkout. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date on all of the um, progress when it comes to this new alternative pathway for the CPA exam, as well as any new accounting news in the industry. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for new videos that I will be posting. Thank you to all the new subscribers and all the students that have signed up for breezycpa.com. I wish you all the best of luck in studying for your exams, and hopefully we'll have a new breed of accountants in the industry, replacing the boomer accountants and revitalizing the accounting industry that is currently in a lull, but seems like it's making an effort to pull itself out of this dip that it's experiencing currently. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.